I'm back, guys. So, here's what I'm doing. See these gloves, Angela? All right. So, I've already put the contact cement. I use weldwood right here. I don't know if it's in frame or not. But I use this weldwood contact cement. You've seen me use it before. So, what you do with contact cement is you butter the glove this way. All right, you butter the surface of the glove, and then, as you can see, what I did here is I took, you know those skeletons? I took one of the hands, or both of the hands actually. This is the finished glove. I wanted to do one to make sure that it would work, and it does work great. This is a finished glove. All I have to do is paint that now. And it has the bones right into the glove itself. And I already had this glove on, so it fits really nice and it's comfortable. And I put some, strips of cotton and some latex up around the hand area. And I'm probably gonna put a little bit on here too, just so the bones don't come off. But they're contact cemented on, and then I put latex on top of that as well. And what I did was I took my shears, and I do one at a time here. Give me a second here, I just get silicone caulk all over my hands. Okay, we don't want that on. That's why I keep old shirts on. I never wear really good shirts. Okay, so we're gonna do the pinky first. And I'm just taking my shears and I'm cutting this whole thing. Man, is that tough. There we go. All right. So I know that I'm working with the pinky, and I know that the glued side with the contact cement is on the underside. All right. And what we want to do is we want to cut each little piece of bone just like that. We're working with the pinky first. We're going to make life a lot easier for ourselves. And then we're going to put that right on here. This is the index finger. Here's the pinky. And we're contact cementing that right onto the tip there. All right. Then we're going to take another piece, the next bone in line, and we're going to cut that. Put this off to the sides. Plenty of contact cement. That is not going to come off once this is put on here. Which way did I just take that off? Don't you love it? Okay, so that's the contact cement side. Okay. So it goes this way. All right. How's that look?
Cool. Yeah, no, it's good. It looks real good.
Yeah, and once it's painted, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Nah.
So I'm putting the joints right here, as you can see, just like the tip of the finger. And I'm separating the joint just a little bit, so this way you can bend your fingers. You don't want to have this so where it's rock solid. Now that I know how I put that, just a little separation there. Oh yeah.
That's good. I like this.
Yeah, I put the little skin on the hand part because it helps hold this bone down too. All right, so there's no point in cutting that little piece off of there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put that right into the hand right here. That's the pinky.
Geez, that's almost like picture perfect.
Yep, isn't that nice? I do put a separation in here because we want the knuckles to be able to bend. And with this really stuck. Now that is not going to come off of there. If it does, plus with the latex over top of it, there's no way that's coming off. All right, so the next finger. This is just a experimentation, and this is how you have to work with things. This is how you do things. This is how you get creative, and you kind of like, well, I tried the silicone caulk, and it just was too messy, too sticky. It didn't give me the effect that I was after, and all I'm doing is I'm cutting that finger off right there. Yeah, I was thinking that too. But man, that's heavy.
You don't want to melt it.
Nah, I don't want to melt this, only because it'll deform the finger. So once again, now I'm going to cut this tip off. And this is the ring finger. This is the ring finger. All right, the tip of the finger right here. And we're working our way right down. This is actually going to be pretty fast, guys. This is not going to be a slow process here.
Very damn cool, Johnny.
Always inventing. Always got to try to work outside the box when you're trying to do things cheap, especially. You know, now the skeleton doesn't have any hands, but I didn't plan on using that skeleton anyway for anything, so I don't care. It actually got used for something that was. I actually buy the skeletons with the sole purpose of possibly using it for something else, or making it, or corpse it, and make it look amazing, you know, that kind of thing. So, oh yeah. So you just never know, you know. Now this bone here, that just goes right up in here like that. And you want to push that in there real good, make sure that they're into the gloves. This is only it only helps it. Now you know what I'm going to do? There's a real sharp edge there. So I'm going to expose that. I'm going to take that off. Alright, so that doesn't jab him. Plus I'll put latex right over top of those sharp edges like I did here. You'll never feel them. Okay, next finger. And then we got the thumb. And I'll show you that process. That's pretty, wrong shears. Need strength. Come on. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was you know, I have a pretty strong grip still, and it was everything I could do to cut through that plastic. The plastic's pretty tough. So we're putting that there. I hope I'm in frame. All right, I'll make sure I'm in frame here. So you see how I'm putting these, just gluing them down, baby. That's it. It's nothing to it. I'm right in the joints where I'm cutting these fingers is right in the joint of the bone. Now I could pre-cut this whole thing, but I just think you take the chance of losing your, you know, what bone goes where. Hip bone's connected to the hip bone, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So now we'll get it right in here. Push that in there like that. And I think I'm going to take a little bit off of here, because that's just a little too much for my liking. A biggie. A piece of plastic that's sitting right there. I got to get that off there. There we go. Try not to put it in where the wrist is. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Okay. Now the thumb. Now we cut the thumb off. Oops. I keep trying to grab the wrong shears here. actually, how do I want to do that? I'm going to cut it that way. Nope, I gotta go this way. There we go. Alright, so that's the thumb. That's last. That's the glue side. So now we're doing the index finger. I like using the wire cutters when I'm doing the cutting the bones, because it kind of grabs the yeah, that looks good, man. This is I'm gonna have to remember this trick. It kind of doesn't matter as long as I have the glue down. That's all that matters. Latex right there, that's no biggie. I'm just squeezing this contact cement really good because, okay. And then of course we have the last piece, which goes right here. But what I want to do here is I'm going to cut some of this off of here right now before I go on crazy. And then the thumb gets, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with the thumb. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so now we've got the bones on the contact cement. Now I have my contact cement not too, so now I'm going to put the glove on. Alright, see that? How's that, guys? What do you think? Alright, so now we know I have full motion. I put the bones in the exact right place, and I have full motion. So now I'm going to take my contact cement and make sure that I paint right here is where I want the bone. Alright, so I'm going to take this contact cement and we're going to go right from the top here and bend it around this way, right to the tip. Now that stuff's touching my skin a little bit. It's coming through the glove just a little bit, which is not bad. Alright. And I'm going a little overboard putting the contact cement on just so I can see. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the heat back a little bit. I'm trying to dry it just enough. Taking my heat gun. That's good enough. Okay, now I just got to slip this off. Now I'm not trying to touch that contact cement at all. Actually, wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. We're going to cut the pieces as we need them first. We're going to do that. We're going to do the tip of the thumb. What is that? Okay. Can't see. Gotta make sure this is okay. Now I'm not trying to press this in too hard right now. All right. All right, that's the. Okay, this is the next bone. It's always the shorter bone that goes at the, the base of the finger. And that goes there. Just right where the bend, right before the bend of your thumbnail, your thumb. This sits over top of your thumbnail. This is over at that, and then there's the other joint right back here. And that's where this goes. And we don't want it going that way. It has to go this way because it actually fits to that. See that? Pretty simple, huh? And you can achieve the same thing. I was just being lazy. I can take spray foam, all right, Loctite spray foam, and put a plastic bag down and then spray the top of the plastic bag down with water. Then take spray foam and make little tiny strips of foam. Now it'll blow up a little bit, but here's what you do. You wait about 3 minutes, and that type Loctite spray foam will get a little bit of a film on the surface. The first thing you do is you spray the plastic down, you make your little lines of bones, then take a spray bottle of water, spray it, wait about 3 minutes, and then you can literally start forming it with your fingers. All right, so now you'll have really soft. It'll mush down. You can mush that stuff down and make it really, real thin, like these bones here. The spray foam, and then you can do the same process. You stick on the spray foam onto the gloves, and it'll give you a little bit more elasticity. That's all you're trying to do, with the same result. So now we got that part done. Let me smack the lid back on of the. And we know that the glove is not stuck inside on itself. All right. Here's the next process. Now that I'm done with the contact cement, that's done. All right. Now, I don't do the thumb until last because I'll show you why. So we're gonna do a layer of latex over this. You see how stiff this is. Still got pliability here, so still a little flexibility in this latex that's in this. All right, so we're going to put this latex all over the surface of the glove. Now, I never do the underneath part of the glove, only just the top, because there's no point to that. I mean, it'll make the glove a little bit too stiff, getting it on and off. So just do the top surface. Just do the top of the hand. Don't do the. That layer of latex that I'm doing right here is actually helping me with the paint. When I go to paint this, it's going to really, and it's also helping the bone stick. It'll keep the bone from coming off real easy. But once again, it has to be masked latex because the other stuff is thin and it peels real easy. This stuff does not. This stuff's very thick. not trying to press in too much because I don't want the latex going through and then creating a I had to move that because there was an area that wasn't being covered. So this is so easy, you know, it really is. Just trying to file a little bit more latex around the bones. This way, you know, the latex is thick and it'll hold those bones on extra, give you that extra support. It's raining again. And now with this layer of latex on here, now I'm going to throw some cotton on it. On the top portion of the hand. All right. Boy, is it damp out here today. Now we're going to go this way with it. I like latex, man. It comes right off your hands. I need length. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So you know this process is putting the texture onto the bones, hiding them a little bit. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the end of the glove. Now up here, I don't put real heavy latex. I just want it to where it grabs paint. That's all I want it to do, is just grab some paint. I don't want it to be real heavy. That's pretty it. That's pretty much it, guys. So now we're just going to put some just added gore. I'm trying to push in between the fingers too. That added look, you know what I mean? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is pretty much hit the blow dryer on it, heat gun on it. Heat gun it. Get it so it's semi-stiff, where it won't stick to my fingers. And then I'm going to put the glove on in case the latex is bleeding through to the other side, and I don't want the glove to stick together. You'll see the bones start getting translucent. These gloves might be a little big on the kid. I don't know. I know they're tight on me. So, all right. So the next thing I'm going to do is wait a minute. Let me see if I do. Yeah. Now once I have the glove on my hand, I'll do the thumb with the latex. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be creepy looking when this is done. Oh, look at that. Look at the ripples with the latex. That's going to create actual flesh effect to it. That's just sick. That's just sick. All right, so we're just going to put a little latex right on these bones, right here. Pull this out. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. Watch when I bend my fingers. Look inside the joint.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Two gloves like that and sell them.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Put them on the website. Or that's it.
Yeah, I could, couldn't
Yeah,
I?
what would it take? Does it take you 15 minutes to knock it out?
Don't take long.
$10.
How much?
$10.
The gloves, $10. I think they're worth a little more than that. But tell me, I wouldn't use this. I would use the spray foam if I was going to do that. Okay, so now I got. You know what? I want more latex in there. It's just not quite enough to hold that bone down. Just on the bones. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm gonna have to put some latex here too. What am I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I gotta make sure that I come around right up in here. I try not to put anything right on the, the base. I want them paintable. You just put a thin coat of latex right where, like on the fingertips and stuff like that. That's too thick. It just makes them paintable, and then they don't see that. There you go. There's a set of gloves. Now I got to do the same thing on the other one because I didn't. And how you take them off? Because I don't want to touch that latex. Alright, I want to slip this off without touching the latex. Best I can anyway. Man, my finger's rattling on that one. Pull from the fingers. Okay. Now let's get it to where it's not sticky anymore. You get the gist, right? Guys, what do you think? All right, so now we got 2 sets of gloves. Whew, feel that rain trying to come in. That's the tutorial on the gloves. The reason why I didn't come back on right away is because I was experimenting with different, I went through 2 pairs of gloves. The first pair was silicone and that was terrible, so I didn't like it. I'm back to latex. I'll always use latex from now on going forward, knowing that. So, you know, this is all about trial and error and try not to spend too much money while making mistakes. The silicone wasn't that expensive. Putting the lid back onto my latex bucket. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so the gloves are looking pretty good. They're going to look really good once I paint them and everything. I'm going to paint the bones a little whiter. I've got my white acrylic, but I'm going to mix it with a yellow to give it a bone color, or like a bone color. And then I'll paint the bones to make them stand out, and then I'll put the fleshing behind it. As a matter of fact, since I got to do the bones, as long as I get the right color, yes, I'll paint all the flesh first, and then I'll paint the white bones, or bone white, what you call it that. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is plug my phone back in because I don't want the video to die. We're done with the heat gun. And I just need to plug the phone back in. All right, so any comments, guys? Let's see what we got. Random videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. These gloves look pretty awesome. I'll give you a close-up of it real quick. I'll show you the ones that are drier. This one here. You know what? Should I put it on? Let me put it on so you can see it. And I'll have it nice and close to me. There you go. Now, I don't do nothing to the underneath parts. It's just this part. Yeah, I see this is trying to pull up here So I'm going to throw some more latex right in underneath these joints in here real good. So it doesn't have to be done right now. See the bones and the hands. And all I did was take a skeleton. As a matter of fact, I'll show you the skeleton. I got it at Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those. And I use these skeletons for other things. I don't really use them for, you know, this is an experiment. It works great. You know, I'm sorry. Hold on, I gotta stand behind the camera so I can see what I'm showing you. Yeah, you can see the bones and I can bend my fingers pretty good. I gotta put some more latex and fabric right in here. See how that's there? That's keeping it from, popping out. That's what I want to do, with any of the joints. I'm gonna do the same thing with a little bit of, what do you call it? A little bit of cotton and more latex. But I needed to get the base done. So, oh yeah. So that's creepy. And it's a kid's glove, so it's really tough. I've stretched them out a little bit here, putting them on, but that's okay. It'll make it a little easier for him to wear. Getting them on and off will be easier for him. He's not a real small kid. He's a pretty big kid. I think with the latex being on the hands. Yeah, so, all right. So if I'm going to fix this, I have to fix it now, thinking about it, because I can't paint it. Once I put the acrylic on there, I can't paint them. Or I can't put more latex on it once the acrylic's on there. Just not a smart thing to do. So that's that. All right, I'm going to have to pop the lid up again. And I want to make sure that I have all the joints. All the joints are going to get some cotton and some latex in, so they don't come apart. Oh, there's my white paint. I got to add a little bit of, probably just a touch of raw burnt sienna to it, or maybe you know what, raw sienna. I'll put just a touch of the raw sienna to it to give it that bone look, and that'll be the color that I use for the bones. First thing I'm going to do is get this cotton situation done. And now I got to open up my lid again. Well, at least it's popping off easy. I got to clean this lid. The bucket lid gets full of latex inside of here, and then it doesn't want to seal right. So all I have to do is there's a rubber gasket inside of that I want to pull out and clean it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to put a little latex in those spots. All right, and make sure that the latex is in those spots. Also underneath. I know there's glue there too, but the latex will really give it a bond. You know what? I don't think I need to put any of the, maybe a little bit. Just a little. Just to give it a skin. Because if you have a little skin on it, it'll keep it from coming apart. And even if it is pulling up, it'll hide it. I'm using very little here. Just to hide the joints. Remember, he's like a zombie kind of thing, so. So the joints don't matter. Oops. All right, so that glove's fixed. I think the other one's going to be okay because I have a lot of latex in the. Yeah, that's going to work great. Okay, now that's done. I'll just bring them in the house to let them dry without the heat gun because I don't want to have to hook that thing back up again. I got the phone hooked up. Yeah, you guys gotta understand, you know, you can really create some really cool stuff if you just know how. You know what? Time to do some work. Time to do some surgery on this thing. Okay, so the number one thing I gotta do here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're pulling the gasket out of this. This is how you clean your lids so they seal. And okay, we're gonna get all this latex off of here, off the rubber gasket, which these two types of rubbers do not stick together real well. So it'll clean up real easy. One's an oil base and one's a plant base. Oil base and plant base. Always remember that with latex and rubbers. If it's an oil base, petroleum based, it won't stick to plant based. And latex rubber is plant. It's a plant-based rubber. That's why it also deteriorates a lot more too. See that? That came out of there pretty good. I'm just gonna take off all the little tiny. I mean, it's got a little stick to it. It's not completely. But if this was made out of latex, I would have never gotten anything off of that because the latex would have bonded to itself. But it does stick a little bit, just not. I could pull it right off. Sorry, I'm out of frame, but I don't want to get anything inside this bucket. I don't want any old latex that I'm peeling off, flinging into the bucket. So I got it down by my waistline, trying to clean it off. I don't know if you can see me. I hope they're in the frame. I don't know if I'm in that. Oh, see a spot here that I didn't get. Glad I did it. That extra latex does matter. Still a little more here. I got some cleaning up to do out here. We're gonna be taking everything off the deck soon because actually this week we gotta start because we're gonna put a concrete pad down here and get rid of this wooden deck. I don't like, get older, I don't wanna have to deal with fixing up this deck. All right, so there's my seal, there's my gasket. Let's peel some of this stuff off of here. Have a clean lid. Fairly clean. The only thing I have to worry about is making sure it's not inside. No latex is inside of this area here, where the lid closes. And that looks pretty good. And you can see how strong this latex is when I'm pulling on it. It's strong. Doesn't come off easy. Okay, so we're going to put the gasket back in. Now when this seals, when I hammer this on, it'll stay on, and it won't leak any air, which could ruin your latex. All right, let's see how she works. Wow. Right back on there. Okay, and that's on tight. Yes, sir. That works good. Now I gotta go put this stuff inside. I got some cleaning up to do out here. And I think I'm gonna call it a day. I've done a lot today. I did a lot today. With the YouTube videos. I got 2 videos uploading from today. Well, actually 1 and then that one. Oh well, nobody watching. Okay, I'm gonna bounce, guys. You have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon and wonderful rest of the week. Remember, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the notification bell. And if you still don't get notified once in a while, like you're following somebody and a notification, all of a sudden you don't get notifications, all you have to do is unsubscribe and then resubscribe, and usually that fixes that problem. So sometimes people don't get the notifications. That's pretty much a weird thing. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. I got to get this costume done this week because next week I start doing I mold after the weekend, I'm gonna mold my sculpture. You know, I'm gonna refine it. When I get this costume finished, I got to put a little texture on it. Not too much. I don't have much left to do to it. And I'm going to get that molded. And by then my dental stone should be here. So when that's here, I'll be able to get it done. Anyway, guys, peace. Thanks a lot for watching. And I'll see you on the next next video, however you want to call it. All right, peace, guys. See ya.